pray for that privately, okay, for your own, your own paycheck, okay. So it says that Obadiah 1 and 3, Obadiah 1 and 2, verse 1, it says, ambassador is sent among the heathen, arise ye, let us come up against her in battle. And that's what these different nations are doing, man. Okay, that's the spirit Yahweh Hashem Yahushua has put it within the Russians, which they're Edomites. Let's not forget that. But the Most High put it within their spirit. He's put it in the spirit. The Moabites, the Chinese, was that correct? Yeah, the Moabites, the Chinese, to come up against America in battle. So they're coming up against each other right now. What's known as trade wars. But see, trade wars lead onto hot wars. That's what a lot of people don't understand. They're walking around here looking donkey, walking around thinking that everything's okay. But meanwhile, you got a whole trade war that's brewing out there, okay, between America, Russia, okay, and China. And that's all going to lead on what's known as World War III. Those are all things that the scriptures prophesied of, but you got to put it into what's known as a modern day context. A modern day context means you got to look at the pieces that are being moved, man. And the pieces that are being moved right now is just the trade wars. The trade wars is going to lead on to a hot war. The World War III spoken about within the scriptures, the book of Revelations. After 2 wars passed, guess what? The third war was going to come quickly. Okay? So it goes on, it says, the book of Obadiah, the first chapter on the 3rd verse, it says, behold, I've made thee small amongst the heathens because they're greatly despised, man. Okay, this ain't no nation that was ruling the world and people was going to be like, wow, look at what they did. Because it was the thing of, they had the technological advancements from the beginning. Okay, they had it to where they was the peak in technology, but guess what? The Moabites took them over, man. Them Chinese, they're bringing out technology that Esau don't even know about. Okay, they're bringing out their own, they're doing their own thing. Okay, because through the what's known as the world reserve currencies, you had it to where these different nations were able to go to make moves like that for a period of time. But now they're making moves, and the scripture says that that they was going to look at America and they was going to say, become as weak as we. Okay, because they was going to come up on the level. We're going to see that within the book of Isaiah, the 14th chapter. Carry on, it says, I've made thee small amongst the heathen, the pride of thine heart has deceived thee. Because within their pride, they're thinking, okay, we're going to set up houses, we're going to continue on forever and ever. The scripture says that their continuing thought is their houses shall go on forever. You're speaking to an average Edomite, even though they know that they're brewing on, World War III is brewing out there within the Euphrates, even though they know the World War III is brewing, they're thinking is, okay, what we going to do within, where we going to go on holiday in 3 years' time. That's what they're thinking is, because they're thinking this thing is just going to perpetuate and they're just going to be doing nice and they're going to look down on the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans forever and ever. Not so. Okay, the hot hatred of the Most High that the Most High set up from the foundations of the earth against that nation was going to be made manifest, and all people was going to see, okay, this is the people whom the Lord created to be despised, to be hated, and ultimately, as you're going to see within the scripture, to be destroyed, man. Okay? Obadiah 1, okay, and 4. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the cleft of the rock, okay, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? That's their mindset. Okay, their mindset is like, okay, who's going to? We got to set up if some entity from the skies come down, we got to set up a task force to eliminate that threat. That's Trump. That's what Trump was saying. Was it 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago? That's what his mindset was. He's not thinking that you know what that says? That says that nobody on the earth can take him down. That's what his mindset is, and nobody from out the sky is going to take him down. But see, you're going to get a rain check. You're going to get a new thing that's going to be made known unto you, that the Most High, okay, he's the one that set you up, and he set it up to where you was going to be that proud, and through that pride you was going to be destroyed, and it was going to be the most documented, most seen, okay, most talked about destruction of all time. Okay, the last heathen kingdom to rule, and the destruction was going to be epic. Because this kingdom is going to be worse. The Most High is going to make Sodom and Gomorrah look like light work, man. Okay, he's going to make that look like light work. This destruction that is coming upon here, man, they've never, he had it. You see, the way the Most High destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, okay, he had the, he used the technologies, rather more the spirit, okay, to basically be like a ICBM nuclear missile. But now you got it to where you got all of these nations got the ICBM nuclear missile technology, and it ain't just gonna be one city or one nation that's gonna be destroyed, but rather wherever Edom and all of their power is gonna be at, that's gonna be an epic destruction, man. Okay? So it says that continuing, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and that was a clue as to tell you who these people are. Because it ain't the Arabs out there who are exalting themselves, they're the eagle. That's not their symbol. Okay, you didn't see no Hamites land upon on the moon and say the eagle has landed. That ain't their spirit. We see that spirit really goes back onto Esau. In fact, when you go into the Roman Empire and they had the stick that they used to hold, the signet that they used to hold within their hand when they was marching out into the war, that was the eagle. Okay, when you had it to where they have landed upon particular places, so-called landed upon particular places, what did they say? They say the eagle was landed. Okay, so the spirit that's within these particular people, is that of an eagle. Okay, so the scripture says that what? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, though thou sit thy nest amongst the stars, that nest is dealing with their armament, their technologies, their so-called weaponries that they're going to have circulate in the earth, so that when the Lord comes back, they can launch nukes at him, of which that's not going to work. Because when you go into the prophecies, it don't say the Most High sent his son, and his son's ships were defeated by Esau. It don't say that. The scripture says that within the book of Revelations, was it the 12th chapter, how that there was going to be war within the heavens, and Michael and his angels were going to defeat the dragon. Because what the angels, the spiritual entities coming with, that's going to be on another level, man. Because they're dealing with the spirits. Esau is dealing with the sciences, man. The mechanics that the Most High gave to us. What about the mechanics that they made the mechanics through? Even if you're talking about a product, you ain't talking about the watch coming up. Well, the scripture says that what? How is the frame, okay, boast itself against its maker? That's what Esau is doing. The Most High created the very physics the fabric of life that we existed. But what's outside of that? That's what the Most High is dealing with. Okay, he spoke these things into existence, man. He spoke these things he spoke an apple falling down from a tree into existence. So the power that he's going to be coming with is going to be on another level, bro. And through that power, he's going to destroy Esau and his power structure, and for the great hatred that he had against his brother Jacob. Okay, so let's continuing on. It says here, so the book of Obadiah, the first chapter, this is the 4th verse. It says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, though thou set thy nest amongst the stars, thence will I bring thee down. Okay, I saith the Lord, if thieves came to thee. So let me go down and jump down into the point. One of the points I want to touch on within this, because you could spend a whole breakdown, a whole day breaking down the book of Obadiah. That's a heavy book. Okay, but I'm just going to hit the points that I want. Okay, going to the thing of sympathy. Because when they had the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, they didn't show no sympathy to them. Now the world is turning against them. Now the secrets, okay, of Esau are being searched out. Now it's like, oh my God, we're the most hated people upon the face of the planet. You made yourself into the most hated people upon the face of the planet when you went out there and you invaded every people and every nation, and you had it to where what? You had it to where you raped, robbed, and murdered. Okay, they became the most hated people upon the face of the earth. Okay, through the eyes of the Yahweh Shemi outside, through the hardcore captivity that they put the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans in, and we can read about that. It says, Obadiah. Okay, the 10th chapter. It says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. So the violence that they had against the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans was going to have it to where they was going to be cut off forever. The book of Revelations, the 13th chapter and the 9th verse, it says, Revelations 13 and 9, it says, if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that goeth into captivity, who that leadeth into captivity, rather more, shall go into captivity. So they led the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans into hardcore captivity. They was going to be going into captivity too. What's known as slavery. Okay? People have, feel some type of way. Every time you drop the word slavery, everybody feels some type of way. But guess what? Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai deals with slavery. These people, the people on the side went into captivity because they did not observe the law, statutes, commandments of the Lord. So the Most High created an entity, a being, a nation of people that was his whipping stick. You go into the book of Psalms, the King David said, destroy the wicked, which is thy sword. Because the Lord created the wicked to be the punishing instrument unto the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, the Israelites, okay, so that when the Israelites went up, he was going to send a people, okay, a nation of people to devour us. Now we're devoured, now we're turning back onto Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai. But guess what? The Lord has no need for the sword anymore. Okay, when you read about within the book of Hebrews, the 8th chapter, okay, the book of Ezekiel is the 36th or the 37th chapter, okay, when he deals with the Most High giving us a new heart of flesh, and we was going to be doing perpetually right in the eyes of Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai, that means that's going to alleviate the need for the wicked. We're not going to need the wicked ain't going to need to be existing within the kingdom of heaven, simply for the fact that there's going to be a righteous standard that's established and that shall never be destroyed. A good example of that, or a good exemplification of that fact, is the book of Daniel, the 2nd chapter, on the 44th verse, where the scripture says that what? The Most High set it up to where the exact wording of the scriptures, it says, let me go to it. In the days of these kings shall the Most High set up the kingdom which shall never be destroyed and shall not be left to other people. Why is it not going to be destroyed? Because every time you had a righteous king stand up within Israel, the kingdom was all right. But his son will come up in his stead, and he would just do wickedness. And then you had the Greeks trying to invade. You had all kind of things popping off because of the wickedness of that particular king that was in place. But when you had King David ruling, you had peace. So when you gotta have King David ruling for perpetuity through the new covenant the Most High set up, which was gonna be the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High written within our minds, then you was gonna have a perpetual rulership, man, and that was gonna eradicate the need for the wicked. So the scripture set it up to where what? That they was gonna be wiped off of the face of the earth. Okay, but that was also gonna be a punishment unto them. Because you can talk about the wicked, the need of punishing the righteous when they go off. But wait, hold on a minute. You also had it to where when we was righteous, they were still within the earth doing their thing. Okay, you also had it to where other heathen nations, the Moabites, okay, the Ammonites, they put us into captivity. Okay, but guess what? Okay, they're not going to be destroyed. So this goes deeper than just having it to where the need of the wicked is no more. It goes into a thing of punishment, and it also goes into a thing of election. See, the scriptures deal with an election, as in someone's elected to be a rulership of the earth, and another person has been elected to be another nation has been elected to be completely wiped off of the face of the planet. That's within the scriptures, man. Okay, the book of Romans, so let me read this, Revelations 13 and 9, and I go into a thing of election, and then I go back onto the book of Job, the 20th chapter. Okay, so Revelation 13 and 9 says, if any man have ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience on the face of the saints. So what the saints look forward to, okay, what their patience is, what we're working towards, the scriptures speak about pressing toward the mark. We're pressing toward the mark of what? Of seeing our enemies destroyed. That's what we're pressing towards. That's what we're looking forward to. Okay, that's what we get passionate about. The scripture talks about how the righteous was gonna meditate terrorists. We meditate seeing you. We look forward to seeing these devils catching hell, man, because we've been catching hell, and they've been making all kind of money off of us. But now the tables is gonna be turned, and we're gonna see all of that. And no one's gonna mourn your. No one's gonna look sad upon you, man. Okay, no one's gonna look sympathetic to you. And anyone that looks sympathetic to Esau, okay, being catching hell, you're gonna be destroyed. I mean, you might think that, if you're immortal, demons might come and bug you out. But really, you gotta see what the Most High is doing. When you go into where the Esau, okay, the so-called white man's catching his L, okay, you gotta think about all the things that they've done to the earth. Okay, you got fishes beaching themselves because the oceans are dirty. Okay, you got birds falling out of the sky. This is a defiled kingdom, man. This is the worst state that the earth has ever been, and there's going to be a great judgment that's going to be paid onto this man. And really, when you read the scriptures, no one's going to feel sorry for him. That's within the book of Obadiah, rather more Isaiah, the 14th chapter, which I'm going to get after Job the 20th chapter. Okay, so Romans 9, and let's go straight to the point. 9 and 6, it says, not as though the word of the Yahweh I have taken none effect, for they are not all of Israel that are of Israel. That's dealing with the elect. Galatians 6 and 16, okay, deals with the Israel of the Most High. Okay, so there's the Israel that's just niggas out here, and the scripture says that what? The lust of their father, which is the so-called white man, they was going to do. So when Esau was going to be destroyed, they was going to be destroyed right along with him. But as we're going to see within the book of Isaiah, the 14th chapter, the scripture says that what? Okay, all of Israel was going to be doing all right. So that means to say through a process of a reincarnation, them different Jakes, them different Israelites that are out here were going to die, but they was going to come back in the kingdom, and they was going to be within their right mind. Remember, the scripture says all of our children was going to be all right within the kingdom. They was going to be doing okay. Okay, why? Because they was going to have the Lord's statutes, commandments of the Most High put into their mind. Okay, so it says there, nor as though the word of the Most High have taken none effect, for they are not all of Israel that are of Israel. Okay, neither because they are of the seed of Abraham are they all children. All right, but in Isaac was thy seed, But in Isaac shall thy seed be called. Okay, moving on to the point, the 10th verse, and it says, and not only this, but Rebekah also conceived by one, even our father Isaac, which was Yahushua, via a thing called reincarnation. Okay, for the children not being yet born, neither having done good or evil, that the purpose of the Most High according to election might stand. Okay, not of works, but according to him that calleth. So you might have it to where you have a guy that do all kind of righteous acts, okay, and so-called good deeds, but that person could be destroyed because it's not about works, man. It's about the Most High. Now, really, for the most part, you wasn't gonna get that. You might have a guy that look righteous on the outside, and the Most High will have it to where he's a wicked dude, okay, behind closed doors. So you might see certain guys that, you're on, Lord will make it. You be on a chariot. You're like, where's that guy? Well, you might have been doing some underhand shit, okay, where you would have never known about. Okay, also too, the scripture talks about a man's mind. Because you can have a guy acting righteous, but really inwardly, he could be a ravening wolf. Okay, he could be profiteering off of the people. You got a lot of guys out there that teach and sell this truth, and they're profiting off of Jake, okay, making all kind of money. And on the outside, they might look like the most righteous person that you've ever seen in your entire life. Guy will play humble and so on and so forth, but he's cashing in off of Jake. Okay, so for the most part, you wasn't going to have it to where a guy was going to look righteous and the Most High was going to destroy him. But the scripture says that what? Not of works, but of him that calleth. So the Most High set it up to where you was going to have this is the person that's righteous and this is the person that's wicked. He's the one that set that up. That's a thing called election. Okay, that's the thing of being set up from the foundation of the earth, either to be right or not to be right. Okay, so back within the book of Revelation, Romans rather more, the 10th chapter and 11th verse, it says, for the children not being yet born, neither having done good or evil, okay, that the purpose of the Most High according to election might stand. See, he says the purpose of the Most High according to election might stand. What does that go into? That goes into a thing of this is the story, this is the movie. That's why you go into this Bible. It's known as what? As script, as a scripture. The purpose of the Most High was the whole thing from the foundation of the earth unto the finishing to be played out how he wanted it to play out. That means to say before you even come onto the earth, the Most High has already got a role for you to play. You might come out here, you might want to be a businessman. The Most High said, nah, you're a prophet. See, that's how you go into the thing of, you got guys out there, you got guys out there that are over righteous, and they'll be looking at brothers and be, judging them on a higher level that they really should be judging them on, okay, because they might see it as a thing of, really, you're supposed to be on point, okay, but what I'm trying to say is you got wicked dudes out there, okay, that want a finger point. I'll put it like that. You got guys that generally they fall out and they want a finger point, but what they be finger pointing at? They're finger pointing at stuff that the Most High said, okay, so what? That's still a man of the Lord. If that guy wanted to do something else, he couldn't do it. A good example that comes to mind is the man Jonah. Okay, Jonah was trying to get out of pushing the word, and the Most High forced him to push this word. Okay? So it's not according to a thing of, okay, I'm going to do this. It's going to make me a man of the Lord. It's going to make me a prophet. Really is a thing of the Most High set it up from the foundation of the earth. That was going to be a prophet. You might want to deviate. You're going to find yourself right where it's supposed to be. Okay? So carrying on and moving towards the point, it says, it was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. And as it is written, and this is the point, Jacob have I loved, and Esau have I hated. So this is a people, the people that rule the world right now. Okay, the so-called Rothschilds, the so-called DuPonts, the Rockefellers, the so-called Jews. All of these people, this is whom the Most High said he hated them, man. He didn't say he loved these people. Okay? Now what's interesting is when Isaac was on the scene, okay, who is Yahushua, okay, he loved Esau. But guess what? It was set up from the foundations of the earth that, that was going to be their hate. Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. And guess what's going to happen to Esau? Esau was going to be removed from the earth. He was going to be a afterthought. You ain't going to be thinking about no Edomites. Now you're going to be thinking about them it'll be like folk story, man. You'll be telling your children, you'll be like, look, this is what happened within the old kingdom, and they'll be looking at you like you're crazy. They'll be thinking there was some white pasty dude that was weak, okay, and he ruled the world with carnality. That's how they're going to look at you. But this is the times that we're living in right now, and when we get into the kingdom, that's how it's going to be, okay? So back within the book of Job, the 28th chapter, this is the 5th verse. It says that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. So they're joying, they're rejoicing right now. Okay, they're in their peak condition. They're in the best position that they've ever been. All right, they got all the nations underneath them. Really now, their power is dwindling. See, their peak was right about the 70s when they had the thing of the world reserve currency. That was booming. Okay, they could never do. You had it to where Edomites, they was doing good back then, man. You had it to where you had one man in the house with one paycheck, take care of the whole family. That's the thing of the past now. Now you gotta have the women, the kids, everybody working, okay, because everything's, is on the downturn because the Most High is removing the so-called glory from this man, okay? He's removing the glory for this man, but still they're in a state of triumph because they're, like when you go into psychology, you read about pride and so on and so forth. Pride is associated with what? With denial. Because they're really in denial of the fact that the Most High had set them up from the foundations of the earth. And now this is the end. Okay, like you had that Michael Jackson talk, and they said, what? This is it? Well, this is it for this man. Okay, this is the last hurrah. And you check out all of the so-called business practices of these different companies, man. They're behaving just like that, man. Okay, they're just trying to get that last dime, that last big promotion, that last big paycheck, the last big deal signed. Okay, they're acting irrational, doing all kind of irrational stuff. Okay, because everybody, the spirit that's out here, really is a thing of this is the last hurrah. Okay, because inwardly they know this is it, man. Okay, they know this is it. I mean, one of the main reasons they know that this is it is you are the men of the Lord out here. If it is you're running ruling the kingdom, and you have your worst, the worst slaves, the one that's on the bottom. We ain't talking about the Moabites. We ain't talking about the Hamites out here. You have a Hamite come into a particular state within America, they'll be doing good, man, because of the curses ain't upon the Hamites. But they might look like Jake, but they're really Hamites. Okay, you might have all of that. Now you go to where the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, they're on the bottom. And you go to where that's the people that's prophesying against your kingdom. They're the ones that are speaking up against your way of rulership. Man, that's a shame, man. Okay, that's a shame. And the scriptures talks about that. The scriptures talks about how the skirts was going to be lifted up over Esau. That's a thing of shame. Okay, you might be with your girl and the wind blows, and then the wind blows with the dress